Alex Eala opens Indian Wells bid versus familiar foe. Pune tennis star Alex Eala will kick off her 2026 Indian Wells campaign against Diana Yastremska. Eala, who currently ranks number 32 in the world, will collide against the Ukrainian in the round of 64 in California on Friday, Saturday, Manila time. The number 52nd ranked Yastremska arranged a second-round face-off against Eala by beating Zhang Shuai 6-3, 6-2 in the round of 128. The Filipina headed straight to the second round after receiving a first-round bye in the WTA 1000 tournament. Eala defeated Yastremska last year in the Eastbourne Open quarterfinals, 6-1, 6-1, before the Pine eventually wound up second against Maya Joint. Despite being outranked by Eala, the Ukrainian already has 3 singles titles under her name. She first won in Hong Kong in 2018 before bagging 2 more crowns in Hua Hin and Strasbourg a year later. Eala, for her part, is looking to follow up her Guadalajara title quest in 2025. Whoever wins between Eala and Yastremska will take on the victor between Coco Gauff and Kamila Rakimova. The Desert Dream. Alex Eala opens her Indian Wells bid. The sun blazed over the California desert, painting the iconic Indian Wells tennis garden in radiant gold, a stage where careers are forged, spirits tested, and young stars can rise to meet destiny. For 20-year-old Alex Eala, this wasn't just another tournament. It was an opportunity to showcase the bold progress of a budding talent who has carried the hopes of a nation onto the global tennis stage with a blend of poise, ambition, and unflinching determination. A journey from Manila to the desert. Born in the Philippines and trained with a fierce competitive spirit, Alex's ascent in the world of professional tennis is nothing short of remarkable. In just a few years, she has transformed from a promising junior standout into a world-class competitor regularly testing herself against the elite on the Women's Tennis Association (W) Tour. Now ranked inside the top 40, world number 32 at Indian Wells, she arrived in Palm Springs with momentum and growing confidence, ready to push deeper into the most prestigious events in the sport. But tournaments like Indian Wells don't just test technical skill, they test heart. The opening challenge, a familiar foe. Despite the marquee names that fill the Indian Wells draw, including multiple Grand Slam champions and veterans of the tour, Alex couldn't escape fate's poetic twist. Her first real challenge would come from someone she already knew well. Waiting for her in the round of 64 was Ukraine's Diana Yastremska, a powerful and experienced opponent currently ranked number 52. The two had met before, at the 2025 Eastbourne Open in Great Britain, where Alex delivered one of her most dominating performances, cruising to a lopsided 6-1, 6-2 victory on grass. That previous meeting wasn't just a result, it was a statement, a declaration that Eala's game could impose itself against established tour players when she brought her best. Yet, matches at Indian Wells involve more than past records. They tap into the psychology of competition, the weight of expectations, and the promise of what could lie ahead. Beyond the baseline, what this match represents. For Alex, this wasn't simply a match to open her Indian Wells campaign. It was a symbolic continuation of her journey, from growing up hitting balls on local courts in the Philippines to navigating the intensity of a WTA 1000 main draw in a tournament often called the Fifth Grand Slam. Getting a first-round bye as one of the 32 seeds was itself a milestone, recognizing her rise and rewarding her for consistent results throughout the season. Facing Yastremska in the desert heat meant something deeper, too. On one hand, it was about revenge, a chance to prove that her previous win wasn't a fluke but a blueprint for success at the highest level. On the other hand, it was a reminder that tennis rewards evolution, every match offers lessons, and familiarity can breed confidence or complacency, depending on how it's handled. The atmosphere at Indian Wells. Indian Wells is unique in tennis culture, a celebration fused with tension. The crowds here are worldly, passionate, and eager to catch glimpses of the sport's next generation. For Alex, the venue was more than just a tournament ground. It was a canvas on which she could paint a new chapter of her career. Practices brimmed with energy. Fans gathered in clusters, cameras ready, signs waving as Filipino supporters proudly donned her name and flag colors. The air vibrated with the sense that something special was unfolding, that Alex's presence here was not a mere participation, but an invitation to witness something meaningful. Off-court, there was also the doubles campaign, a secondary yet exciting storyline. Teaming up once again with American partner Iva Jovic, Alex prepared to chase success in the women's doubles draw. The duo had shown promise earlier this season, making impressive runs and blending youthful energy with strategic aggression. A battle of styles and stories. What makes this match fascinating is the contrast of styles and journeys. Yastremska, at 25, brought years of tour experience, 3 WTA singles titles, and the consistency that comes from competing at the highest levels over time. Alex, on the other hand, was the young firebrand, agile, strategic, and increasingly confident in the power and variety of her game. Their previous showdown at Eastbourne was a snapshot of what Alex could achieve when in full rhythm. But Indian Wells added context, a bigger stage, broader audience, and higher stakes. It was the kind of challenge that helps define an athlete, not just winning, but how they respond to pressure, expectations, and self-belief. The human element, growth and dreams. Even as the spotlight shines brightest on players, there's a quieter story about personal evolution. At the core of Alex's rise are hours of training, sacrifices made on the practice courts, and an inner voice that keeps nudging her toward excellence. Tennis is inherently solitary, the player against the opponent, every point contested, every rally a mini-battle. But it's also deeply human, woven with emotion, memory, and growth. In interviews leading up to the tournament, Alex spoke not just about tactics, but about inspiration, from childhood dreams of playing on big stages to reflecting on recent battles with top competitors, including world number 4 Coco Gauff earlier this season. Those experiences weren't just results, they were chapters in a mental library that would help refine her game. The match, a moment of truth. When the day of her match finally arrived, under a bright Indian Wells sky, with fans and lights focused on her stride, Alex walked onto the court with a calm intensity. The familiar rhythm of pre-match routine, racket taps, deep breaths, and visualization had prepared her not just physically, but mentally. On the opposite side stood Yastremska, seasoned and ready to test the Filipinas' mettle. Each point was a collision of strategy and resolve, the kind of tennis that invites spectators into a story of suspense. While the outcome of this precise match will be written in official result sheets and stat lines, what truly matters is the narrative that unfolds every time Alex steps onto big stages like this. A rising athlete forging her path, learning from every rally, and embracing both challenge and opportunity with relentless focus.